Radical clarity. Most of us live like a web browser with 50 tabs open at the same time. Probably this career, maybe that relationship. Everything is optional. Nothing is decided. We tell ourselves it's flexibility. But honestly, it's self-made fog. In all that chaos, the most valuable skill isn't doing more. It's radical clarity, knowing exactly who you are and what you want. Why is that such a huge advantage? Because while the world is still stuck at the starting line, analyzing, comparing, guessing, clear people just hit run. They move from A to B, no detours, no, this could be nice. No, we'll figure it out later. They don't save time, they create it. And clarity has a strange pull. It's magnetic. When you know where you're going, the world starts getting out of your way. People who are lost naturally follow the one holding the map. That's how trust is built without a single promise. So why is it so rare? Because we're afraid of being wrong, drowned in other people's opinions, scared of disappointing someone. Vagueness feels safe, even when it's not. Remember this, if you don't design your life, you'll get hired into someone else's plan. Clear people aren't geniuses. They're just brave enough to turn down the noise and listen to themselves. And once you have that clarity, you're no longer in the back seat. You're driving. The ego assassin. Watch any argument closely. You'll see how rare this actually is. People will twist logic into knots just to avoid three simple words. I was wrong. We say we value rational thinking, updating beliefs, following the evidence, but in real life, almost no one does it cleanly. Because the moment you're wrong, ego steps in. Identity feels threatened, and being wrong starts to feel like losing. Psychologically, your brain treats it as danger. When facts challenge what you believe, it doesn't open up. It doubles down. That's why people often defend the wrong idea, even harder when proven wrong. So when someone can say, "Oh, you're right, I hadn't thought of that," and actually mean it, they're going against powerful instincts. It looks simple. It's not. Changing your mind publicly, without excuses, without shifting blame, is something most people physically resist. But here's the advantage. People who can admit they're wrong learn faster, adapt quicker, and earn trust without trying. Because confidence isn't never being wrong. It's not being afraid to update who you are. If you can do that, you're not losing arguments. You're moving forward. The focus fortress. Most of us think we can focus for hours, but in fact, we can't. You check their phone, open a tab, answer a message, then get back to it. That's not focus. That's context switching. Real focus feels different. Time stretches, notifications disappear. Your brain locks onto one thing and doesn't let go. And that's rare, because everything is designed to interrupt you. Your phone, your apps, your job, even your own thoughts. So most people never go deep. They skim. They react. They stay busy without making progress. But deep focus changes the math. 1 hour of real concentration beats 8 hours of half attention. Every time. That's how some people move faster without working longer. They're not smarter. They're uninterrupted. So why is this a huge advantage? Because focus compounds. The longer you stay with a problem, the better your thinking gets. You see patterns others miss. You make connections others never reach. Most people quit right before that point. If you can stay a little longer, go a little deeper, and finish this video while everyone else skips ahead. You operate on the highest level. The reliability flex. Being on time consistently. Most people think it's basic. It's not. It's a statement. When you make someone wait, you're not just taking a few minutes. You're sending a message. My time matters more than yours. That's why punctuality is a huge advantage. In a world full of weak apologies and constant delays, showing up exactly when you said you would builds trust instantly. You don't say you respect people, you prove it. So being on time isn't about the clock. It's about self-respect. The KM operator. When something goes wrong, most people panic. Heart rate spikes, thinking narrows, they freeze or flail. The person who stays calm, who can still think while everything is falling apart, has a nervous system that responds differently to threat. Some of this can be trained. First responders, pilots, surgeons, they practice staying functional under pressure. But some people simply have a longer fuse. Panic doesn't hit them right away, and that buys them something critical. Seconds. In studies of disaster survivors, the people who made the best decisions weren't smarter. They were calmer. They could still access problem solving, while everyone else was running on instinct. If you're the person others turn to when things go bad, if you can slow down while everyone else speeds up, you have a real survival advantage. Fun fact, panic is the human default. Calm is the trained exception. The complexity killer. You know that person who can explain something complicated and suddenly it just clicks? That's rare. Most people who understand something can't explain it. They know it. They live in it. But the moment they try to teach it, everything comes out tangled. Because clear explanation isn't about knowledge, it's about translation. You have to know what you know, notice what the other person doesn't, pick the right starting point, and adjust in real time when it's not landing. That's hard. It's called the curse of knowledge. Once you understand something, your brain forgets what confusion felt like. You skip steps, you jump ahead, you assume too much. That's why some experts are often terrible teachers. The people who can explain things clearly are doing something different. They slow down. They simplify without dumbing it down. They meet people where they are, and that skill is insanely valuable. Companies pay entire teams just to translate between departments, not to invent new ideas, but to make existing ones understandable. If you can take a technical concept and make your grandmother understand it, you have a skill most experts lack entirely: the ego-proof mirror. Giving negative feedback kindly is harder than it looks. Telling someone they messed up, that their work isn't good enough, that something needs to change. Most people avoid it, they stay quiet, let the problem grow. Others do the opposite. They're blunt, harsh, and trigger instant defensiveness. Both fail. The rare skill is hitting the middle, honest without being cruel, clear without being personal. You critique the work, not the person. You're specific enough to be useful, but not so detailed it feels like an attack. You leave them with direction, not shame. That balance doesn't come naturally. Managers get trained on this. Most still struggle. Because negative feedback pokes ego, yours and theirs. The people who do this well don't soften the truth. They frame it. And the result is different. Instead of resentment, you get trust. Instead of resistance, you get improvement. If you can tell someone a hard truth and they walk away motivated instead of defeated, you're not just communicating, you're leading. In conclusion, which of these skills do you think gives the biggest advantage? If this video helped you see everyday habits differently, you can leave a like and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this.